If you're the type of person that lacks confidence in their decisions, has trouble finding their identity, or just cares a little bit too much about what people think, then it might help looking at these 3 life-changing existentialist principles. Number 1, think backwards but live forwards. This comes from Soren Kierkegaard's principle that life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. What he was getting at here was that our lives can only be understood by looking back at it, by reflection. And Kierkegaard believed that reflection is an important step in our development, that it's essentially how we gain insight into ourselves and the people around us. But when it came to the present, he believed that to keep thinking and reflecting was a bit overindulgent, like you're just playing patty cake with life at that point. So to not do that, he would simply say in those moments not to think, but to act. But anyways, to the point of living forward, it simply means this, to just trust yourself. It's having the confidence that the lessons and wisdom that you learned will have their expression in your life. That all of the work that you did prior, all the reading, studying, reflection, it's trusting that that will have its stamp on what you do and say. It's like the saying, what goes in is what must come out. Steve Jobs also spoke to this. He said that you can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. This approach has never let me down and has made all the difference in my life. Number 2 on our list is be attentive to detail. Back in the 1900s, the existentialists had a fancy way of speaking about this practice. They called it describing phenomena. And they took this as their imperative to stay alert, to carefully describe what's appearing in their conscious awareness. And so how is this really useful in everyday life? Well, let's ring in Jordan Peterson, a world-renowned thought leader in our generation. He talks about how describing your reality is fundamental for learning how to think and communicate, that it's basically like a superpower.
It's power, and I mean power of the best sort. It's authority and influence and respectability and competence.
Jordan also affirms that describing in detail what you feel and perceive is crucial for getting to know yourself. And because knowing yourself is basically the only way to be able to choose what you truly want, it's kind of important. I mean, obviously, if you don't know yourself and aren't able to choose what you truly want, well, then
you're gonna have a bad time.
Number 3, care less about what people think. I say less intentionally and not just don't care what people think at all, because believe it or not, it's actually a good thing that we care what people think. You want to know who literally didn't care about what people think? Ted Bundy, Charles Manson, Joe Goldberg. These are psychopaths. You don't want to be a psychopath. Mark Manson proposes the question like this. Instead of how can we stop caring about what people think, let's ask how can we better manage what people think? And so here's one of the best ways to do this. It's knowing and understanding how little people actually think about you. And by this, I don't mean like little people, I mean like the actual amount. And so how much is little exactly? Well, let me show it to you this way. Let's say this is your video you recently posted on social media, and the person scrolling represents the majority of your following. Now let's rewind a little bit, and that's it. Like 1.8 seconds. That's how much thought most people put into you. And that's what you're stressed out about? Someone's 1.8 seconds that they took out of their day to consider you? Like what?
Stupid. It's so stupid.
To cap it off, here's a quote by David Foster Wallace that captures this lesson pretty well. He wrote that you'll stop caring what people think about you when you realize how seldom they do. So that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching till the end of the video. If you liked the vid, please like and subscribe. Till next time, don't forget.
If you can think and speak and write, you are absolutely deadly.